What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Riding the Wave podcast with your host,
AYD
and MJ in the house. We got a special guest for you. My nephew, CJ's in the house. Say, what's up, CJ?
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you all.
What's up, everybody?
Glad to have you here, brother.
I hope everybody's having a great week, a great day, positive attitude. And today we have an interesting topic, a good topic.
Very good topic.
And this is what this platform is about: is having the tough conversations. So today's topic is going to be bridging the gap, overcoming anger from an absent parent. I know a lot of us can relate in this topic as far as not having a parent present in our lives.
No, definitely.
And I can imagine a lot of us have been affected by it. And today we're gonna hear CJ's testimony, his story of his upbringing, what it was like not having a parent present in his life, and everything he went through and is overcoming and has conquered.
That part.
But first, ladies and
we
gentlemen,
got to do what we do. We got to cheers. Thank you for coming on here,
Thank you
CJ,
guys for
and,
having
and
me.
sharing.
Thank you
You
guys
know,
for
we
having
really
me.
appreciate it. Again,
Thank
share
you.
what you want, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you guys.
all right. So, but first off, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. I feel great.
Having a blessed day. Yep.
Having a blessed
Yep.
day. All right. Real quick, I want to do a couple shout outs to a couple people out there. Number one, I want to thank my sister Momo for coming on the podcast last week. She did an amazing job.
Thank you, Mo.
So thank you, Momo, for coming out. Hopefully we could do a lot more. You were definitely a big hit, and people want to hear you. So thank you, Mo. Clap, 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 clap. And next, I want to do a shout out to my little cousin Eric. He lost 50 pounds.
Hell
just-
yeah, that's what's up. Keep it up. Keep it going.
Just being on that workout, being on that grind, with having a family and work, hitting the gym. So I told him I'll do a shout out to him. So keep on doing it. Keep on doing your thing, cuz.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So CJ, let's get it started, baby.
Yep.
You ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Roll out that red carpet.
Let's go, baby. All right. Well, let's get to it. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
All right. Let the audience know who you are, where you're from, bit of a background.
Yep. My name's CJ. I come from Lancaster, California, Antelope Valley area, kind of far from LA, but not too far. And my upbringing, I came into this world, had a single parent. My parents split. Don't really know too much what happened. Grew up with a single mom. Moved around a bunch of different places. Had problems with family members, stuff like that. Was a kid, played outside, enjoyed myself, but I always dealt with problems of only having one parent. So like I would go outside, see other kids with their parents and stuff, and it would just kind of like make me think about my life and stuff. But the outcome of life, it was kind of good. I had a good childhood. I mean, some problems, but majority kind of a normal childhood, outside all the time, playing with other kids, going on sport trips, this and that. But I dealt with a lot of battles and figured it out eventually as I got older a little bit, still dealing with stuff. But my upbringing was pretty decent. Had a couple problems, but overall good.
That's good, man.
Nice. What sorts of battles do you?
Really just having one parent and her, like my mom dating other people, so it was like new authority in the house all the time and stuff like that I dealt with. And like it's like I had to deal with these people and I had no one to kind of like back me up from it, like if they was mistreating me or something, I had no father, no one to like defend me. So that's really the biggest problem I had as a child growing up, is like dealing with different dudes and different personalities trying to control what I'm doing, and they don't know me.
About that time, how old approximately?
I was
do you
probably
think
like,
you were?
my mom got with her new dude like around when I was 3 years old, and he left my life when I was about 13. So mostly all my childhood,
Oh,
the same
wow.
person, but
Yeah.
it was just like problems like that, authority, and
Do you
like-
feel like that affected you, like the fact that there was a person in your life for a good chunk of your life, especially as a youth going into a teenager, and then was it a civil breakup? Was it? I mean, did he at least say bye? Did he ever come back around, or once
Nah,
it was over, that was it?
yeah, once it was over, that was it. And it was kind of like a bunch of stuff before them departing from each other that boiled it all up. So it was kind of like we left on bad terms. Like, we're never talking to you again. But my mom also had a kid with this person, so she still had to communicate with him, but to the bare minimum.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine, how a teenager must have felt for
Yeah, at
to
that age,
spend that a portion of your life with a person. Like, were you close to him like
Yeah,
you,
I'm like I play sports, so I played baseball and he taught me how to play baseball. So it's like my whole childhood I played baseball and I basically did it because of him. And then they split up and then I was kind of like I don't even want to do it anymore. Like I'm gonna just chill and do my own thing because I was kind of demotivated from it all.
yeah,
Got you.
and don't you think is important, like, when we're single parents and we bring kids, or when bring kids around our new partners?
Yep.
I mean, I think number one, like,
It's a slippery slope.
it's a slippery slope.
It's hard, yeah.
It's a slippery slope, and I think that's when us as parents, especially if we're single parents, we really have to keep a close eye on our partners when they're around our kids. And I mean, I'm always gonna take my kid's side over
Yeah.
my partner's side any day.
Right.
I mean, unless I catch my kid in the act, just straight, lying or whatever. But overall, if my child comes up to me and says, "Dad, so and so is treating me badly or whatever," I'm gonna confront that person right away, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Not letting it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too many people get in relationships and they get so fogged up
Yep.
with just they're in love and they're happy, and they kind of disregard the children.
Exactly.
So I think that's an important topic to bring up
Yeah.
at a later time.
So with that introduction, CJ, what's something that you feel that you want to that's been weighing heavy on you, on your heart, on your mind, just something that
Yeah, probably just battling a lot of emotions as a young kid, not having my pops. I mean, it could have been different if I didn't have my mom, but as a boy, not having your pops, it's like it really affects you because other kids are outside with their dad, learning this with their dad, doing their dad's teaching them how to do stuff on cars and like man stuff, and I had no one to teach me that stuff because even the person my mom was with, he was so caught up in his own life that he never sat down to really like teach me how to be a man. Like it was kind of like just me and my mom. So I learned everything my mom knows, everything my mom does. It's kind of like I learned more about female than I did about men as a kid. So it was kind of hard growing up.
you're a single child?
No, I have two siblings from my mom and then another two siblings from my dad. So four total.
Oh, I got
But
you.
I'm the oldest both ways.
Okay. So, what's on your mom's side? What's that relationship like on your mom's side? And what was your upbringing like with your mom?
My upbringing with my mom, it was really good. Honestly, she tried her best. I won't discredit her from that. She really did try her best.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah,
shout
shout out,
out.
Mom.
Shout out all the moms out
But-
there.
As much as she tried, like I said, she got with someone who was doing stuff when she wasn't around. So she'll be at work and I'll be with this person who she thought cared about me, but he would kind of be mean to me, like
In what ways, if you don't mind me asking?
like honestly, like just bullying me, like because he wanted to be like the boss and stuff all the time. So he'll be wrestling me, kind of like
Oh, horse playing.
yeah, trapping me, and I was claustrophobic as a kid, so
Oh, okay.
I'd freak out, and he got
Oh,
a
that's
thrill
tough.
from it. And like also, I would get a lot of butt whoopings and stuff as a kid, a lot of butt whoopings. So like it just made me angry as a kid towards this person.
And like this cat, like he would just mess you up just for the fun of it, or what?
Yeah, and like him and my mom will fight about stuff, and then they'll take it out on me. Kind of, I was like their medium. You get me? Like I'm in the middle all the time.
Got you.
So I was kind of put into like a lot of drama as a kid. So I didn't I got to be a kid, but I always stress going back home. I'm like, I don't want to leave school. I don't want to go back inside from playing because I'm gonna have to deal with all the BS.
Yeah, man. And see, and that's what a lot of parents or people don't understand, man. When you have a lot of issues going on at home, and then you're expected to go to school and then function and be normal. I could imagine that shit is challenging.
Yeah.
And then you're labeled as a disruptive kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we never take the time to ask ourselves. To me, you know that saying, there's no such thing as a bad teacher, but not bad student, but a bad teacher.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I really believe in that.
Yeah, definitely. Not only that too, and then something I want to tap into on a different episode is being the first child, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Being
yeah.
the oldest. I mean, like TJ was saying, you have nobody to show you how to do things because you're the first, you know what I
Yep.
mean? You take the blunt of the blow, you know?
Yep.
And that's I'm the middle child. I don't know how it is, you know, so we'll tap into that, you know, next time.
So it seemed like you had a good relationship with your mom. Then she met her partner. Didn't work out. Where's your mom now? Is she remarried now? What?
Yeah, so my mom, she got remarried with someone else, and he's been in my life since 13 all the way to now, and they're still together. And that relationship's a lot better, is because I feel like my mom was at a healthier point of her life, so she attracted a healthier person. Yeah, exactly. So it just made our outcome better. They got into we lived in apartments our whole life. I moved from family to family to family member's house, and then when she got with this person, we were in a house within 3 months. So it was like a game changer. It's like, dang, someone really cares enough about someone to take them and their children out of the slums and put them into a better position.
And what is your relationship now with her new partner? Do you guys have a?
It's a decent relationship, but like he dealt with his own problems, I dealt with my own problems, so we never really got to become like close with each other. We were always living in the same house, talk to each other, but nothing more than that, like outside one-on-one stuff, just me and you, let's go do this, let's do that.
Would that be something that you would want now, or you think that's kind of too late for that, or what do you?
Yeah, I definitely think we should have that because my mom's gonna be with this person until they're no longer here. You get me? And they have a kid as well, so it's like it'll just make it worse later on in life where I move away and go do my own thing. It'll make it feel like, all right, I don't really need to go back and chill with them and do that. But if we had a closer relationship, it would make me like, oh, I need to go spend time with them. I need to check up on them, see how they're doing and stuff like that.
Do you feel like you have a lot of like resentment towards your father, towards your dad?
As a kid, I did. I always used to like question why and like just kind of feel some type of hatred. I always like had anger as a kid in my heart. But now that I'm grown and getting older and I have my own kid as well, it kind of like made me like think of stuff differently. Because what if I couldn't be there for my daughter and I'm going through problems and I don't want to show my face because of what I'm doing? So I kind of understand like maybe that's what his situation was, not being a part of me and stuff. So I don't really hold no grudge towards him or nothing, but it did affect me as a child.
And how old were your parents when they had when you were born?
They were 16 years old. So
Jesus, babies having babies,
Babies
man.
having babies.
Yeah,
Strap it up.
What is
Put
going
on
on?
the raincoat.
All right, so real talk. Hey, if you're 16 years old, what type of father you think you probably would have been?
Man, I would not be ready. I would not be ready. I would not have the slightest clue. At 16, as most of us, pretty much at that age, we're getting our license. You know what I mean? We're finding
Learning how
our
to drive,
jobs.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We're really grinding because like back then, like that's what it was. We got to get the grind. You want to get your money, you got to go out and get it. So I definitely wouldn't be able to afford having a baby. I
Yeah,
could barely pay for myself, let alone another child.
Yeah. How old are you when you had your first kid?
I was about 24.
24. And how old are you when you had your first kid?
19.
19. So that's still That's still real young.
How about
Yeah.
yourself?
I
MJ?
was 30. I feel like I had my kid at like a perfect age.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
30 is when
Yeah.
you're kind of already 20s, you're kind of in that party stage, and then 30s you kind of
Mhm.
just you mellow out,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know. So yeah, so I can't sit here and say if I had a child at 16, I probably would not have been the greatest father.
Well, that's tough.
And that's not to make excuses though. Like real talk, it's really not to make because CJ's dad is my brother, who I love dearly, and I can't imagine what he was going through in that time in our household in that moment. We're going through a lot of you know a lot of drama, a lot of just drugs and
Right.
gangs and
Being so young at 19, having your first child, were you still dealing with some of the issues like from your past? And how did you like make sure you didn't incorporate that with your first child?
Yeah, definitely. So when I had my daughter, I was still kind of dealing with my own problems and stuff with not having the pops and stuff because I was just becoming a dad, so I didn't get no experience to it. So when I had my daughter, I definitely kind of was always trying to do my own thing, and my baby mama lived with me, so I would always be gone and out, and she'll be at home with the baby. And then it was until we split up, me and my baby mama split up, that it made me kind of step up to the plate more because we would split time with my daughter and it would just be me in my room with my brand new baby trying to put her to sleep at night, feed her, change her diaper. And I've never experienced that. So it was like, I got to do it. There's no other option.
Yeah.
yeah. So you definitely feel like if if your pops was present, that you would have been a completely different father.
I can't say that because I don't know if him being present would have made it better or worse. So it's like, maybe it might have shown me how to be a dad, but what if he still wasn't ready and he was still around, so he was kind of doing his own thing, but pop his head in sometimes. So it's kind of like, I think the outcome I got is kind of the best outcome because it made me have to be a father. It's like there's no other option. Like you're either gonna do the same thing to your kid that happened to you, and you know how it feels, or you're gonna step up to the plate and handle business.
So you're definitely trying to break, or you definitely are breaking that generational
Generational,
Yeah,
cycle
definitely.
curse.
or curse. Yeah.
Cause it's a repetitive cycle in my family. Like everyone deals with this, and it's just like it has to be stopped because it's not kids' fault. It's the parents who just want to have fun and mess around and not think about later on.
So at what point did your dad come around, and like what was your what did you feel in that moment when when he wanted to come back?
Yeah, he started talking to me probably when I was around 16 years old. So it kind of was like at that age, you're stubborn, you want to do your own thing, you don't care what nobody says. So it's like when he hit me up, I was kind of more like mean about it. Like I'm like, nah,
Rightfully
like
so. I think
yeah,
you have every yeah.
like nah, like how you gonna start talking to me now type stuff. And like, so I kind of did have a grudge around that time towards him because I'm like, why after all these years, like what's so special about 16 that made you come around now?
Did you ever ask him that question?
I haven't really had the chance to get a one-on-one talk with him, so it's like something we still got to do, just face to face talk about how we felt and what happened because I still don't know the full story and stuff like that.
Do you ever Did he ever ask you like why? Did he ever like visit visit you prior? Like once your mom had you and he went his own direction. Did he ever like pop up in your life here and there, or it wasn't until like 16, boom, hey son,
I mean, he might have, from my
or you don't
memory.
really
Yeah,
recall?
I don't really remember. So he might have hung out with me maybe like 4 times within that whole time, but when I was young. But it was like a long stretch, probably like 10 years of not seeing him completely. So it was kind of like
Man,
meeting
that's
someone brand new
for
again.
the
Like,
first time.
yup,
'Cause
it's
yeah, you know nothing about him. I mean,
exactly.
he doesn't know anything about you, what you've been through. Your first girlfriend, your
Yup,
first
yup,
love. All that stuff.
yup.
Like that's
That's heavy,
man,
man.
that is heavy. That's real heavy.
So now has your dad been consistent since he was since 16? And well, okay, do you remember what you guys did when you first saw him? What was?
So I remember around 16 on my birthday, I got a call from him. But after that, I don't really remember when I actually seen him for the first time. I do remember we all spent Thanksgiving together, so that was one memory that I could really remember of actually spending time with him. But before that, I don't really recall like the first time I met him. Also, I was just going through all my own stuff, in the streets and this and that. So I don't really like have good memory of all that time.
Okay. And when he like, what's your guys' relationship? Because how old are you right now?
I'm 23.
So 23. So he's had a good 7 years to.
Yeah.
Was he consistent though? Those 7 years, or was it
Kind
like,
of,
come and
not
go,
really.
come
It
and
was
go?
it was kind of come and go. Recently is when it got more consistent because I feel like he's in a better place of his life, so he feels like he could really like talk to me and not feel judged. And I also feel the same way. It's like I feel like we connect a lot better because of all the time we haven't spoke to each other, and now we finally get the chance, and he's ready and I'm ready. So it's like we're both like, let's do it. Like let's get it started now than later.
Right, or never.
Or
You know what I mean?
never,
Or
exactly.
never. Like, I mean, you guys both have the opportunity to like reconnect, rekindle, talk about everything, and make like do it in a way to where it's like you're expressing yourself. This is how I feel, and he expresses himself,
Yep.
and you guys, maybe there's some answers that some questions that need answers to.
Exactly, yeah.
And when did you start like noticing the temper, the anger?
Probably when I was like 7, 6 years old because
Oh, that's young, bro.
yeah, really young. It's like I used to be so mad all the time that I would go
I was
out.
still playing with He-Mans.
I know,
I was like, with
bro.
my He-Mans, you know what I mean?
I was so distracted with my little monitos, bro.
Bro.
Like, I didn't even care if my
Right.
dad was around.
But,
Just
I mean-
leave me in my room with my toys. I'm fine.
Yeah, probably like 6 or 7. Like I started realizing I had anger issues because I would go out to play with other kids, and they would come back to my house to tell my mom that I'm playing super rough out there. I'm trying to kill other kids while playing football and stuff like that. And it was just like my mom would have a sit down with me, like, "What's wrong?" And like I would be in my room sometimes alone and really just be thinking bad thoughts at a young age, like, and knowing that something's wrong with me for sure. Because like you said, other 6 and 7 year olds are playing with toys and having a blast. I'm just thinking about my problems the whole time in my room.
And I don't mean to get in your too much in your head, but like, if you don't mind sharing, like at that age, what thoughts were you thinking? Like,
Well, I had a bad stepdad, so I'd be thinking like, as a young kid, I'd be thinking like going in the room and hurting him while he's sleeping and stuff like that. Like
have you ever-
crazy stuff.
like, have you
Yeah.
ever watched that Michael Myers movie, the Rob Zombie one, where he has like the abusive
Yep,
dad? I movie quote a lot. I watch a lot of movies, guys.
Shout out
so.
to Rob Zombie.
But yeah, man, that's horrible, man. I can't imagine. Imagine Aid being that age and just having those
I mean,
thoughts.
man, right now I'm thinking about like, I mean, this is one
Yeah,
out of how
exactly.
many, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, all you guys out there, that have been through this and are just nodding your head and yeah, I did this and maybe different situations, man. Like I genuinely feel for you guys, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's I'm trying to process and really like take in what you could possibly be feeling at that age and going through that.
And that's the question to the audience. How many of you have kind of experienced what CJ's experienced, not having a parent present? Did you feel angry? Did you feel lost, confused, unloved?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And hit us up on all our platforms because we want to hear these. We want to hear these questions, and we want your comments and your feedback, and we want to reach out. You know what I mean? Because everybody needs a listening ear.
Yep.
And that's another thing. We're not here to give any like guidance or anything like that. If you want, we'll do our best. But if you
Right.
guys just want to express yourselves and have someone just listen, because sometimes we all just need people just to listen
Definitely.
to us.
I was blessed with big ears, like I said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God bless me with big ears, so I'm here to listen.
And this platform is for you guys. So yeah, if there are any comments, DM us, and we definitely want to be engaged
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yeah.
So but going back to CJ now, um, so have I guess I don't know if this is too early to ask, but like, do you feel like you have forgiven him, or do you
My
feel
mom's ex-boyfriend.
no, your pops,
My
your
pops.
pops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgave him. I mean, there's nothing to really hate because he was never there, so there was no like bad traits that I could be like, oh, he did this, he did that. It
Mhm.
was just like a blank person never being there. So I got to meet him all over again and fresh. So it's like from now on is what you could affect our relationship by what you do and how you act with me and stuff like that. But I don't really have no grudge towards him. I just would rather have a relationship than have a grudge towards someone.
Got you. From I know you said earlier, you would play a little rough and be aggressive and all that. So as you got older, what was your I mean, because they say you're a product of your environment. What was your upbringing with, like, as far as friends and your group that you ran with, or
Yeah,
what I mean? Was
definitely.
it?
Me and my mom, we lived in a Section 8 apartment, so it really wasn't the best upbringing. It was like whatever my mom could do for us, she was gonna make it possible. It don't matter where we're at. So I grew up with a lot of different types of kids. Not the best kids, always getting in trouble. The thing about me in school is I was always in trouble. Like my mom was in that office every week crying, trying to figure out answers on why I'm acting the way I'm acting. But it was just so much for a kid to bottle up that when I would go out away from my parents, it was like I hated the world. So
Mhm.
everyone's gonna feel my pain.
Man, that's
Yeah,
tough.
but again, it's just because everything you're dealing with at home, you go to school now, and then they expect you just to
Act normal.
sit down, behave, and be normal. At any point at school, did any of your teachers or counselors, whoever, like, ever ask you, "Is everything okay?"
Honestly, no, really, no one even sat down to ask me my personal problems. They just always thought I was the problem. It was more like my grandparents from my mom's side who would sit down and have those talks with me, like, "What's wrong with you?" and stuff like that, and I would tell them, and they would speak with my mom and her boyfriend, and it would cause an issue. So it came to a point where my mom would take me away from all my family so that they wouldn't know what's happening at home. Like I couldn't go for summer to my grandparents because then I'm gonna tell them I'm a kid, so I say everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them that I'm getting my butt whooped, I have bruises, I'm this, that, that. So she kind of took me away from everyone so they wouldn't know what was going on.
And do you feel like that aggressive behavior? Because as parents, sometimes, man, we let our emotions get the best of us. So we discipline our kids, but when we discipline our kids, we're doing it for us, not for them.
Yeah.
When you start spank, especially like when you're,
Uh,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Do some kids need to get spanked? Of course, I'm not against it, but I'm just saying the fact that if CJ was already going through a lot as it is, right?
right.
Getting
Yeah, yeah.
getting in trouble, having issues at home, and then have issues at school, and then now school's calling. Now mom's upset, and now you're being spanked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Disciplined. Did you feel like that helped you or made it worse?
It definitely made it worse for me because I wasn't getting regular spankings. I was like getting beat to the point where my mom wouldn't let me go to my family's because as soon as they lifted up my shirt, I have a bunch of belt marks all on my back and stuff like that. So it made me mad. It made me really mad at my mom and her spouse because the spouse for doing it to me and my mom because she just allowed it. So it was like I said, like if I had a pops around, I would have someone to defend me from stuff like that, from
Right.
bad stuff. You get me? But I had no one to defend me from
Yeah.
the bad stuff, so it was just me. Like,
Yeah, not only that, I mean, like, especially just, I'm sure people looked at you like, oh, he's just a bad kid. He's
exactly.
just a bad kid, not knowing what's going on behind closed doors and you're lashing out because those are the reasons, but now you're getting punished because you're lashing out
Yeah.
because of, you know what I mean? It's just
It
like,
was like a never-ending cycle.
and it's just being all stacked up on top of you.
Yep. Exactly.
Man, so it kind of felt like for a good portion of your life, you had the short end of that stick.
Yeah, definitely. Until my mom left her spouse, and it was like freedom. It was like
You could breathe again.
I could breathe again. My mom could breathe again, and I had a little brother now, so it was a lot. It felt a lot better because I had someone to hang out with. Because I was the only child for 7 years, so I had to deal with that alone for 7 years, and then I finally got a little brother, and it kind of lightened a little bit. But yeah, definitely when my mom left her spouse, it got like a big weight off my chest, and it was like, all right, now I could like not worry about this person, or when I get home with this person, because they're gonna whoop me or yell at me, this and that.
Got you.
For some of our listeners out there that may have been or have been going through the same thing or went through the same thing, what did you do in order to like help yourself get through it and get through the day? And
So I played sports. I played actually only one sport my whole life. I played baseball.
Baseball,
So I was really good at it. I could have went to college for it and all, but I messed that up. But anyways, that's what helped me keep pushing as a kid is like I had practice every single day. I had to go to my games on Saturday. I didn't have a normal kid life like where I just get to chill all day inside, watch cartoons, this and that.
Shit,
It's
my
like-
son don't get to chill all day inside. Hell no. That fool going to work, homie.
So yeah, so I would play baseball, and that's what kept me busy and outside of the house a lot of the times. And that's what really helped me keep going because I built a family outside of my family. I had baseball friends, coaches who cared about me.
Mentors.
Yeah, mentors, exactly. And I still talk to these people to this day. So they've been in my life since I was 4 years old all the way to now. So
I mean, would you want to do a shout out to them? You know?
yep, shout out Coach Chris.
That's what's up.
Hey.
Yep.
We'll get to that conversation next week.
Let people know what they go through because as men we tend to have to be the person to be strong, chest up, chin out, never fold. And it's like sometimes we do need to just go home and like express ourselves to someone and let them know how we feel.
yeah, and speak
What
on
do you
it.
think about that, Aid?
I definitely agree because like CJ said, like I was like that, like nah, you just hold it in, you deal with it, you take it, you keep pushing forward, you show no emotion, you don't cry about it, you figure it out, and it is what it is. Deal with it and get on. But now that I do express myself, I express myself to my wife, my kids, my friends,
Yep.
like everybody, like I'm an open book, and it feels great because there's
Yeah.
nothing weighing on my chest.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
nothing weighing on my heart.
So we can all agree it's not unmasculine
Oh,
for us to
definitely
express
not, man.
how you
Yeah,
feel.
no.
Definitely not. I think the bravest people do express themselves.
And that's what I want to tell
Honestly,
the audience, especially the men out there, that it's all right.
Express yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Express yourself. Like, it's all right to be vulnerable. We don't have to play the part and act tough all the time because
Yeah.
it shows by your actions. Let me like ask you a question. Like all that anger, how did you feed that towards other people? Were you mean towards people? Were you
That's crazy is because I had so much anger, but I was never mean to nobody. It's like I kind of just dealt with the anger myself and alone, like just random crazy thoughts, or like when I would play sports, I would get a little aggressive and stuff, but it was never me like treating other people differently because I know how it felt to be bullied and stuff because I had someone grown doing it to me all the time. So it was like I was kind of like a kind-hearted person, friends with everyone, chilling with everyone, outside with everyone.
But I mean, we say, we usually say, oh, I dealt with all my anger. I mean, did we really deal with it, or did we just suppress it? And
Exactly.
put it somewhere and
hide it?
store
Yeah.
until you became that ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And as soon as that timer went out, that was
Yep.
it.
And I still battle with that sometimes. It's like I'll go a while without having no like anger or like no outbursts to anyone, and then it's like you just suppress it all, and then you finally get that one button pressed, and then you blow up. And it's like it's because I feel like I have no one to talk to as well. I don't really have too many people I hang out with because trying to stay away from certain stuff. But yeah, everyone needs someone to talk to because you suppress that, and then like you say, you're a time and tick bomb, and you're just gonna blow up one day.
Well, hey man, like this is why we want you on this platform because yeah, man, we don't want you, the audience, or anybody to feel alone, to feel like no one can
Facts.
listen to you. Because nah, man, at least on this side, on
We're
this,
here and it's all love.
on this podcast, on this channel, it's all love.
Mhm.
Like we've, man, I don't know about you, but like I fucked up a lot,
Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
and
for
I'm
sure,
just
I'm far from perfect.
and but now that I feel like we've all turned a new leaf, we just want to be there for. It's better to give than receive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that shit does feel good.
It does. It feels amazing.
So now let's go back like with your pops. Um, what like if your pops now were to kind of give you some guidance, or maybe if you did something wrong in his eyes and he were to kind of like not necessarily discipline you, like give you a little pow pow, but like like hey son,
Said pow, pow.
why did you do this, or question you, um would that something you would acknowledge? You'd be like, no man, like nah man, like
No.
where's your
Yeah, definitely. I would most likely accept it because I'm more grown now and stuff. So I do want someone to point out when I'm wrong because I can't always fix all my problems because I don't know what's a problem and what's not to other people. You get me? And it's like I've lived with my mom so much that sometimes it feels like she's just telling me what I want to hear sometimes or what she thinks. But I always need that other input to be like, hey, no, 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 that was wrong. So yeah, I think I'll take the advice, and it also is how he comes at me about it. So
Yeah.
it's like if it's like a demanding thing, it's like, hold up, take a couple steps back. I'm grown now. I'm past
Right.
18, so it's like you gotta come at me kind of like a, hey bro, like
Respectfully.
yeah, I don't really think that was right what you did and stuff like that.
nah, I feel you. And then like I know we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that when he's come around, it's like he's come around with the whole family.
Yeah.
And do you feel like now you would just every now and then like just for him to come around and just be you two? And why is that? Why do you feel like that's important for you to spend that quality time with him?
Yeah, so like we never had one on one yet, but like I feel like it's much needed so that we could break the ice and get the confrontation over with and like talk about what the real issues were, what I dealt with, what he dealt with. Because when we hang out, it's more like go out, have dinner, and then just talk about what's going on in the world now. But we never address our problems and stuff like that.
Now, what about how did you feel when you said on your dad's side you have brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have two brothers.
Two brothers. Was there anything like did you feel a certain way when you saw that he was there for them as
Yeah.
you were like growing up when you
Yeah,
seen
definitely. Cause I actually followed him on Instagram when I was younger, so I would see all the stuff he does with my brother, and it was like all the stuff I did, but without a dad. You get me? Like I was playing baseball, playing sports, doing all this, so it did kind of affect me. It's like, dang, like what's different between me and him? Like, is there a difference that makes you not want to come chill with me and stuff like that? And then my other brother from that side, he's kind of closer to my age, but I've never met him. So I have one brother that's like I think 18, maybe 20, and I've never met him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn, would you like would want to meet him?
That's honestly, yeah, that's something I'll definitely want to do because he's like real close to my age. So I feel like, and he kind of grew up without our dad as well. So I feel like we could relate on stuff, maybe talk about stuff, and you never know. You don't know the person, you might like them a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That
So,
sounds like a great idea. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think that'll be good for the both of you. You know, I'm sure
how
he
do
may
you
need
like?
somebody to talk talk to as well, like you
Yep.
said, you know.
Yep.
Gossip and shit. Like,
We don't gossip, no gossip.
Nah,
That's all bad.
It's all love. It's all love. I mean, have you found, like, do you know where he's at, or like, you found him anywhere?
I don't know nothing about him, honestly. Just my family knows maybe a little bit, but yeah, I don't know anything about him. All I know is our names are reversed. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, fam, help him out.
Hey,
Help
man,
him reconnect. You know what I
let's
mean?
get this connection going.
Build that
long lost brother over here.
Build
Yeah,
the bridge.
build that bridge, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, for one, I just want to say thank you for expressing everything
Yes.
that you told us, here today. Do you have any final questions, for CJ before we end this?
So I have a few, you know what I mean, but I want a good one. If you have a question, go ahead, shoot, throw it out there.
Well, the question that I want to know is, if your dad was right here in front of you, what would you tell him?
Yes, that's a good question. And are you willing to, rekindle and make things better?
Yeah, definitely.
But hold up, sorry. That's on the next episode. That's part 2 with CJ. But right now,
ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to that conversation next week. We'll continue on CJ's journey, because the journey is definitely not over. There was darkness. Now we're gonna see the light.
yes,
We're gonna see the transformation.
the light at the end of the tunnel.
yes, sir.
So, CJ, what do you got going on for you right now?
What I got going on for me right now is I'm being a father to my daughter, and I'm running a business at the same time. So with my business, it's been going a little crazy. I own a seafood business.
All right, so let the audience know where can they catch your business. First of all, for one thing, we tried the food.
Oh, you're gonna see some posts.
Man,
The plate was
That
delicious.
shit is fire. But you know what? I don't. Go ahead, CJ. Go ahead.
Go ahead. This is the red carpet.
Yeah, it's a
Go
red
for
carpet
it.
for you, baby.
The name of the company is CJ Seafood Boil. We specialize in seafood boil, shrimp, crab, lobster, Cajun style, kind of like Louisiana, if you ever seen that before. And yeah, I started it 3 years ago, but I just got onto it recently again because I was dealing with some stuff in my life. So I kind of took a step back, and then I went to jail. And then when I got out of jail, I tried to apply for a bunch of jobs, trying to get my life on track and stuff like that. And nothing was working out. I would go places and they're like, yeah, we're going to hire you. We'll call you in 3 days. No call, nothing. So I was kind of getting demotivated. And then that's when I decided to kind of go sober for a while and get into the Word of God. And like, I felt like God was just telling me stuff as I would be chilling in my room and stuff. Like, no, it's not you. It's not you. You're better than a 9 to 5. That's why I'm not giving it to you. So I had a business already, and I decided to jump back into it because I felt like God was like, you know what? You need to give this your all. Like, I'm not letting you get a job for a reason. You're not supposed to work a job.
Hey man, that's beautiful. So what's the name of your food business?
CJ Seafood Boil. You could catch me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
So go check it out.
Go check it out.
And you already know, as you can see, CJ's story is not over.
It is not over, baby. It's just getting started. We're just getting warmed up.
Yep.
There's gonna be a part 2. But thank you guys for tuning in.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate all the subscribers, all the likes. We're gonna continue to bring the best content and bring the best positive energy, guests, things that need to be, that we all need to hear. Have the tough conversations that no other platform's having.
Definitely.
And you're gonna see it here on Riding the Wave, baby.
There you go. And if you got anything going on, jump on our page, shoot us an invite to your page so we can go check it out. You know what I mean? Check out CJ Seafood Boil. We're all here to support each other. We're all here to make this algorithm work for all of us.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll see you next week.
Have
Every
a great
Friday,
day.
8 a.m.
We love you.
Peace.